Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in 17 days, unless Congress acts, the Stafford Student Loan Program, which is the workhorse loan program for millions of college students all across America, is going to see the interest rate double from 3.4% to 6.8%. Again, stepping back for a moment, 6 years ago, the Democrats passed the College Cost Reduction Act. Cut that rate from 6.8 to 3.4%. It was a 5-year bill concurrent with the Higher Education Authorization Act. Last year, with minutes to spare, we extended that lower rate of 3.4% for an additional year. And now, once again, we are hours away from students who are about to embark on life decisions in terms of which college to attend, which course to follow, and they need to know with some certainty what the borrowing costs, which for many is now a stark reality in terms of paying the cost of higher education. This morning in the New York Times, there was a very encouraging story about the fact that the number of college degrees in the U.S. has hit an all-time high. Students are now completing college, and it's just in time in terms of the workforce needs of our country. Again, this same study, which was released yesterday, shows that, in fact, we have workforce needs for high-degree skills, which the education system is still scrambling to catch up. So there is no question for young people in America, this question of protecting the affordability of higher education is of critical importance to both their future and to our nation's future. Unfortunately, the only action in the House of Representatives was a measure which the majority party rammed through a couple of weeks ago, which the Congressional Budget Office Monday issued an analysis of. And what the CBO told the country is that the House Republican bill, which is a variable rate interest rate program, would actually cost students more than if we did nothing and let the rates double to 6.8%. I want to repeat that. That measure actually worsens the situation if we did absolutely nothing and allowed the rate to go to 6.8%. It's obvious what we need to do. As a Congress, we need to recognize the fact that we have a national interest in terms of maintaining access to higher education, and we also need to recognize that families are being crushed with the cost of higher education, and when we need to protect the lower interest rate. I have a bill, H.R. 1595, which has over 150 co-sponsors in the House. It received 51 votes in the Senate that would protect that lower 2 years and allow us to do a new Higher Education Authorization Act. This morning, just a few minutes ago, I executed a discharge petition for members of Congress to sign to get the H.R. 1595 on the floor immediately so that we can protect the lower interest rates for young people, again, embarking on next year's college curriculum and semester. So again, I would urge all members to sign the discharge petition, H.R. 1595, which will protect the lower rate so that we can, in a measured, intelligent way, come up with a Higher Education Authorization Act, which will go through the whole gamut of issues for college costs, whether it's Perkins Loans Program, Pell Grants, allowing students to refinance after they leave college, giving high school students better information, again, as they make a decision that really is almost the equivalent of buying a house when you go to college in modern-day America. But again, the stakes are huge, but the payoff is even greater for students, which that report issued yesterday documents. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I want to, again, join some of my colleagues who are going to speak later this morning, who will note the fact that it is now 6 months ago to the date that my state, the state of Connecticut, saw a horrible tragedy, young children who were slaughtered in an act of senseless gun violence. And today, survivors of the Newtown massacre are all across Capitol Hill urging Congress to act. Congressman Thompson, Congressman King painstakingly worked out a compromise bill to strengthen background checks in our country, balancing constitutional concerns, again, totally consistent with the Heller decision, which sets forth the individual right to gun ownership. It is time for this Congress to act. We should pass the Thompson-King bill. We should listen to those families, the survivors of the Newtown massacre, who are, again, begging Congress to move forward and act on this measure. Again, it will protect the rights of gun owners, but it will also protect safety of this country, which is so long overdue. Again, I want to salute Congressman Thompson, Congressman King, Congresswoman Esty, who represents the Newtown district in Connecticut, all of my colleagues from my state, but all across the country who have come together in response to this horrible event, and to make sure that, again, it will not just be a passing memory, but that we will build something from that event that will protect Americans who, from the, again, epidemic of gun violence that has unfortunately goes on every single day in this country. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.